Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick or the Notorious Fantasy back at today with another fantasy football video. In today's video, I got Week 13 tight end rankings. Now, before I get into tight end 1 all the way to 20 for Week 13, I'd like to give you guys a word from my friends and my sponsor over at OverlayDFS.com. OverlayDFS.com is my favorite way to play daily fantasy football. Now, Overlay now also offers NBA and also NBA slash NFL games. So if you guys are into the NBA as well, obviously you can come play that. But I'm going to be talking about NFL here today. Now, it is a very simple game, but I'm going to be talking about how it works first. Now, there's 10 max lineups, which obviously gives you more chances to win, but also doesn't let those sharps, those computer-generated programs to dominate in those games, have like 100 plus entries. Now, the $20 progressive game is definitely the game to play for football. It is $22. Obviously, if you're top 10%, you get 9 times your buy-in. But if you hit that beautiful 12-0, that progressive bonus, you get over $8,700, and it's still going to be rising all the way until Sunday. So you guys got to make sure you check that out. Now, the game is different every single week. Never know what the matchups will be posted. It's pretty much you versus the board. You only need to worry about 2 records, yours and the pay off cut. Now, there's also head-to-head contests that are 10 pick rate, and it's amazingly small, and bad records win all the time. The more people who enter, the bigger the jackpot is going to be. Now, I'm going to show you guys here real quick a strategy that I like to use. Now, when you're playing the game, you need to make 12 picks plus 2 alternate picks to obviously help if someone gets hurt or something, then you can use one of those alternate picks. Now, one of my favorite strategies to do here is select a quarterback and their wide receiver. So I would go with my main man, Philip Rivers here over Daniel Jones, and then scroll down here, scroll a bit down until I find my friend Keenan Allen, and then take him and go with the quarterback and wide receiver stack. That is something I found out it helps me do better on Overlay DFS. So make sure you check out OverlayDFS.com, link down below in the description. Come and play with me. Let's have a great week this week on Overlay DFS.com. And we are back. Make sure to check out OverlayDFS.com, link down below in the description. Let's get right into this video. Week 13 tight end rankings. Coming in at number 1, we have Travis Kelce going against the Oakland Raiders. Now, I think that Travis Kelce is going to be able to have a huge game this week against the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders defense is very, very bad. We saw Mono Man Sam absolutely eviscerate them last week. I think that Travis Kelce is going to be able to quite easily have a day against the Oakland Raiders. Obviously, the most talented, or if not one of the most talented tight ends in the league. Some people might say another tight end is the most talented in the league, and that is Mr. Number 2, George Kittle, going against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, in my opinion, this is going to be a very high-scoring game. This is going to be a back-and-forth affair that I think the Baltimore Ravens will end up winning, but no matter who wins the game, it does not fucking matter because George Kittle is going to be able to eat like Ezekiel Elliott in this game. I really like him a lot this week. You've seen ever since he came off being hurt for those couple of games last week, he balled out of control, and I see no reason why he can't do the same thing this week against the Baltimore Ravens. Coming in at number 3, we have the bright spot of the LA Chargers offense, Mr. Hunter Henry. Now, obviously, they have Keenan Allen, they have Melvin Gordon, they have Austin Eckler, and those guys are all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, Mr. 12 Kids, Mr. Philip Rivers, likes to throw the ball to one man and one man only in the red zone, and that is Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry has honestly had a phenomenal comeback after getting hurt earlier in the season. He has been balling out of control pretty much every single game, and this week against the Denver Broncos, I see no reason why it can't be any different than that, and he plays quite well this game at Denver. Coming in at number 4, we have Zach Ertz, or my ball Zach Ertz, as some people like to call him, going with the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Miami Dolphins are just so bad that they just let the tight end walk straight into the end zone. They will spread the sea like Moses and just let him walk straight into the end zone. I think that Zach Ertz will obviously be able to have a big game this week again against the Miami Dolphins in sunny Miami. Coming in at number 5, we have Darren Waller of the Oakland Raiders going against the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. And like I said, even if I think that Travis Kelce might spack up the Oakland Raiders, I see no reason why Darren Waller can't get the piece of the pie for the Oakland Raiders. Now, obviously, Derek Carr played like shit last week against the New York Football Jets, but this week's playing against the Kansas City Chiefs that are not so good of a defense. I think that Darren Waller will be able to get it done in this game. He just has so much usage on that offense and is Derek Carr's right-hand man, so I like Darren Waller in this game at Kansas City. Coming in at number 6, we have Mark Andrews, tight end, obviously, of the Baltimore Ravens. Now, obviously, the last couple of games, he has not been playing so hot. He's actually had 2 bad games in a row, pretty much. Obviously, not bad games, like completely bad where he shits the bed. He kind of just scores like 7 or 8 points. That's obviously not good enough for what Mark Andrews has been doing for you thus far this season. But I'm not going to let those 2 games really sway how I feel about Mark Andrews. I know Lamar Jackson loves throwing the ball to that tight end. I know Mark Andrews loves throwing, or not Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson loves throwing the ball to Mark Andrews. So in this game against the San Francisco 49ers, I think he has a bounce back game, and I'm still going to believe in Mark Andrews this week coming in at number 6. Knock one time if you're with me. Coming in at number 7, we have Ryan Griffin, Mr. Sticky Hands, going against the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. Now, the Bengals defense is fucking atrocious, and Ryan Griffin should be able to have quite the day out there with his main man, Mono Man Sam. Now, I think Ryan Griffin obviously had a down game last week in comparison. Now he's played the last couple of games, but just scoring 10 points is not the worst for your team. And this week against the Cincinnati Bengals, I could see him scoring a lot more than that. Coming in at number 8, we have Kyle Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, going against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, it is going to be December, so his nose is going to be shining very bright in this game on Monday in Seattle. I like Kyle Rudolph. Obviously, Kirk Cousins has been screaming, "You like that?" and throwing the ball to Kyle Rudolph a lot. Now, the fact is, if Adam Thielen is back, I'm a bit nervous about the usage. Kyle Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, ends up getting in this game. But at the end of the day, I still like him at Seattle to outscore a lot of these other tight ends. Coming in at number 9, we have third leg Greg going against the Washington Redskins. Now in this game, Greg Olsen's going to drop his drawers and let her see his third leg. The Washington Redskins defense is just fucking awful. A lot of these tight ends are playing terrible defenses. I think that Greg Olsen is going to be able to easily dissect that defense. He's going to be playing quite well. Obviously, Kyle Allen actually looking pretty good the last couple of games, aside from that one game where everyone was on Kyle Allen, and he certifiably shit the bed for you while everyone was watching. But against the Washington Redskins, I really think that Greg Olsen will be able to get loose in this game. Coming in at number 10, we have Dallas Goedert going against the Miami Dolphins, and obviously Dallas Goedert is not your ideal top 12 tight end, but he obviously is this week because he's playing against the Miami Dolphins, and the Philadelphia Eagles love to use 2 tight ends. They like Dallas Goedert. They also like Zach Ertz, so I think that both of these guys can be top 12 options this week. Coming in at number 11, we have Jack Doyle going against the Tennessee Titans. Now, obviously, Jack Doyle is not the best option, or it didn't seem like he would be the best option in fantasy the last couple of games, but now Eric Ebron is on that IR, that injured reserve, and I think that Jack Doyle is going to emerge and play great while Eric Ebron is gone. It's going to be the Jack Doyle show over there. Jacoby Brissett loves throwing the ball to the tight end. I think that Jack Doyle, getting an increased amount of snaps, should be able to eat in fantasy football. Coming in at number 12, we have Jacob Hollister, or as I like to call him, I should say, Jacob Abercrombie. Go against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Jacob Hollister has been playing quite great the last couple of games. Obviously, Russell Wilson likes throwing to that tight end. We saw earlier in the season, it was Will Dissly getting a lot of those looks. Now, Will Dissly hurt. Jacob Hollister has stepped in and filled those shoes quite well. I like him this week at the Minnesota Vikings, coming in at number 12. Now, on to 13 through 20. So if you guys have enjoyed the video thus far, please make sure to knock one time on that subscribe button. Coming in at number 13, we have Noah Fant going against the LA Chargers. Now, obviously, Brandon Allen is not playing anymore. It is going to be Drew Lock. Now, that does kind of worry me a bit. Now, what I do know is younger type of quarterbacks like to target that tight end, and that was obviously true for Brandon Allen. I think that Noah Fant gets a lot of looks in these games, but I am a bit more nervous now due to the fact that Drew Lock is getting the start. Coming in at number 14, we have big man Vance McDonald going against the Cleveland Browns. So this is obviously a revenge game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, they got ass fucked last time by the Browns, and then they had that battle at the end. You know, it was like WWE fucking SmackDown versus Raw 2005 out there. And I think that Vance McDonald is going to be able to have a decent enough game with Duck Hodges at the reins in Pittsburgh. Coming in at number 15, we have Mike Gesicki, Gesicki going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I know that Ryan Fitzpatrick loves throwing to the tight end so much. It seems like Mike Gesicki is obviously going to be a top 20 guy the remainder of the season while Mr. Ryan Fitzmagic is playing. Obviously, you are depending on that touchdown. If Mike Gesicki ends up crossing that plane and scoring that beautiful touchdown for you, you're going to have a great day. If not, you're going to have a guy who scores like 6 or 7 fantasy points, and you could be doing a lot worse than that. Coming in at number 16, we have the risky man, Jimmy Graham, going against the New York Football Giants. Now, the reason why I would say he is super risky is because he's very much a dice roll. You see games where he scores you 0 points, and you'll see games where he scores you 30 fucking points. And there's really no in between for Jimmy Graham. It's either a blow up or a complete shit in the Huggy scenario. In this game against the Giants, I think he could find that end zone, and that is why he is ranked inside of the top 20. Coming in at number 17, we have Tyler Higbee going against the Arizona Cardinals. And now I know I told you guys all, Gerald Everett is going to be amazing. He's going to be great this week. Oh boy. That's what I was telling you. And then now Gerald Everett is hurt. He's not going to be playing. So Tyler Higbee is going to step into those shoes. And going up against the Arizona Cardinals obviously is going to bode well for you at the tight end position. So I think that Tyler Higbee, if he could find the end zone, will be worthy of a top 20 tight end start. Coming in at number 18, we have Tyler Eifert going against the New York Football Jets. Now, it seems like with Andy Dalton back, Tyler Eifert might get his best shot to score a decent amount of fantasy points. Now, the last couple of games, even with Ryan Finley, who has now been benched for Andy Dalton, he was still performing pretty well. So I think he could get it done against the Jets this week. Coming in at number 19, we have Darren Fells going against the New England Patriots. And I'm very worried about this matchup for Darren Fells. Darren Fells' last couple of games has been shitting the bed big time after he scored 3 touchdowns in 2 games a few weeks ago. Now it's just been all downhill for Darren Fells and that Houston Texans team, it seems like. But I do like Darren Fells this week against the New England Patriots to be a top 20 guy, as long as he gets enough looks in this game and the Patriots don't absolutely shut down the Houston Texans. And at number 20, we have Ben Jam and Watson go against the Houston Texans. And I believe, honestly, Benjamin Watson is kind of a guy that you're risking a lot with, but I think that he could go out there and actually perform. Obviously, Tom Brady loves to throw to the tight end. It is a bit worrisome that there's so many tight ends on that team. Ryan Izzo and friends. There's a fucking carousel of tight ends going up and down in a fucking circle. But at the end of the day, I think Ben Watson might be able to get it done this week, and that is why he is my number 20 ranked tight end on the week. So thank you guys all for watching this video. If at any point you ended up chuckling, if at any point you ended up enjoying, make sure to knock one time on that subscribe button. I love each and every single one of you guys. Make sure you have an amazing rest of your day. Check out overlaydfs.com. Link down below in the description. Goodbye, my friends.